Network, talking about future bets with the one and only Godzilla, John Fredericks himself, and obviously Frank Zaccanelli as well too. And Brendan, I don't know if you got a chance to see that, but they were talking future bets with the Big Ten Conference and the over/under win totals. And I started kind of doing a little bit of searching and you look at these future bets on win totals, whether you decide to go under or over, there can be some real value at that. And I think I just picked up this morning. I believe West Virginia in the Big 12 is at 5.5. Obviously, Brendan, you got your finger on the pulse in Morgantown. Do you see the Mountaineers being a 6-win team this year?
Oh, absolutely. I think the Mountaineers are only going to go up from what they were last year. I mean, like I've discussed before on here, people need to remember that the Mountaineers lost so many players along with coaching staff the year prior to as Rich Rod was coming back in. So they essentially had to rebuild an entire team just to put a team out on the field. So, they got what they could get last year. The talent just wasn't where it needed to be last year, and it showed on the field. But, Rich Rodriguez does this every school he goes to. The first year that he's in, it's usually not very pretty. But then the second year, he turns it around and he makes them a competitive team. If I remember correctly, this is, 20 years ago. So I was very young, didn't really pay attention to college football at the time. But when Rich Rodriguez came to West Virginia the first time, I think they only won maybe 2 or 3 games. Then his second year, he completely flipped the record. They only end up losing maybe 2 or 3 games. I think it was only 2 games, but I'm probably off on that. But regardless, he completely flipped the team the next year. He made them a competitive team, and they were contending for the Big East title that year. So, and he did a similar, it was a similar outcome when he was at Jacksonville State. So this is what Rich Rodriguez does. Would not be surprised if West Virginia is winning 6, 7, maybe even 8 games. They're going to be a much better team than they were last year.
So I'm guessing you're saying the win total of 5.5 in future betting,
Over.
Take the over with the Mountaineers, correct?
We're going with the over, no doubt about it. By the way, quick couple of announcements talking about Rich Rodriguez. We're going to have him live on our show in West Virginia. Rich Rodriguez live with us. This is going to be aired on Tuesday at 1 p.m. and we're going to run this nationally. So we have a lot of the other WVU coaches on. We run them in West Virginia, but Rich Rod, well, he's just a major story. And he's pretty fired up. I talked to him last night briefly after, I guess, one of the practices or in between or something, whatever they do. And he's going to be with us for 15 minutes at 1 o'clock live on Tuesday across our entire network. So we're going to run that nationally. Thank you, Vince. Well, I got my camera fixed there. Thanks for filling in. Vince Mayaka with us. You're on Godzilla Wins. And this is the best, coolest show in America on sports, no doubt. We're with the old ball coach, Vince Mayako, Brendan Statler, WVSportsNation.com. Download our app there, WV Sports Nation. By the way, Brendan, you're doing a super job. Your coverage of the two great women's soccer wins in West Virginia was fabulous. The big win, 2-1 over Penn State at home, beat a ranked team. Your story was excellent. Also with us, the indelible Chris Saxman's good to have you, Chris. Chris is also going to be with me. Rumor has it in Dallas for the Republican Convention. True or false?
That is true. I've already made my flights and hotel arrangements, sir.
You're staying in our hotel, right?
God, no.
Oh, come on, dude.
He's like, which one are you at? No, I'm way down the road here.
Yeah. Ooh, I'd like to stay with you. Ooh, I don't think so.
No, not with me, in our hotel.
No, I couldn't get a room.
Yeah, they were sold out.
So I'm over at the Sheraton. I'll have to slum it over at the Sheraton.
Well, that's good. Well, we'll have to get you over there. It's going to be fun. I think we got a suite there for broadcasting, but that's for another day. It's good to have everybody with us. This is, as you know, one of our pick show and part of our sports package, where we have Godzilla Wins right here starting on Thursday, every Thursday and Monday before the Thursday night and Monday night football games. So starting a week from Thursday, we're going to have Godzilla Wins daily. That's going to be at 4:30 nationally on Mondays and Thursdays, starting before the first Thursday night game. Myself and Frank Zaccanelli and others, we're going to be on that. And of course, don't forget, Game On America Sports every day, 6 to 7 p.m. right here in the John Fredericks Media Network. Don't want to miss that. That's always fun. And then a horse racing show. We got a lot of it coming in, 11 o'clock right here on our TV app. You're going to find John Stitton, Past the Wire, horse racing right after our show on TV. Jay Delsing will be on golf and on the radio. So it's all good. It's good to have you with us as always as we go through another great day. Now, this is a gambling show. We do pick winners. We just told you to bet the over on West Virginia. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-GAMBLER, and gamble responsibly. Only afford to bet what you can afford to lose as entertainment, kind of like a tea time playing golf. If you do that, you're in good shape. Now, guys, we can't even open the show without going into the NCAA absolute chaos. Just when you thought it was safe to go outside, it gets worse. I don't know what the NCAA is doing here. I don't even know if there is an NCAA. So on August 19th, after a stay from a judge in Colorado saying, no, if the 2022 eligibility, if you graduate in 26, you're out. Then on August 19th, a Louisiana judge tosses that and says, no, I'm going to name 33 players who filed suit, not a blanket. These 33 players, well, they can come back. They were 22s. They can play a fifth season. Some of them have already taken snaps in preseason games in the NFL. They might get cut. They want to come back. Okay, so then it said, well, we got to go with each individual player. They're going to have to file their own suit, which is more chaos. Then yesterday, you cannot make this stuff up, folks. Then yesterday, in a 2-1 ruling in the 10th Circuit, of all places, in San Francisco.
Not San Francisco.
Where is it?
Denver.
The 10th in Denver. Thank you, Chris. The 10th in Denver on a 2-1 decision stayed the original judge's order in Colorado that if you're a 22 player, you have 4 years of eligibility, not 5. So then the people that were going back, they don't know what they're doing. Meantime, the other judge in Louisiana ordered the NCAA to reopen the portal, and now the NCAA filed another appeal on that other appeal, and so this thing is absolute chaos. It's Chris Saxman.
Yeah, it's chaos. You say you can't make it up. Guess what's happening?
They're
making it up as they go along. You're like, what's the law here? What's the governing law versus what the NCAA has said? It's a fascinating area in labor law, and I think the courts are going to decide and come down on the side of, young student athletes. We don't call them students anymore. They're just young athletes being able to access a labor market and make money for themselves. I mean, what's the underlying legal principle here? That the NCAA gets to determine who can and cannot play college football? I don't think so.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the decision, the Louisiana judge, he got rid of the injunction on 33 players that filed suit in their jurisdiction. So he gave all of them the opportunity to come back, and then he ordered the NCAA to reopen the portal. Right. But then the NCAA appeals, and then they rule 2-1. Well, the NCAA does have the right to restrict eligibility from the 22 players, and now you got the problem with a lot of these players that want to come back. They've already signed professional contracts. They've already got paychecks. Well, there's another rule than the NCAA. Right. If you play professional athletics, well, you're no longer a collegiate player. Vince, where is this going?
So does that mean this latest ruling in Denver, does that mean that potentially that there are ineligible players in training camp at the NC2A level?
Yes.
What a mess.
Stay tuned until the next ruling, right?
I mean,
yeah, it's madness. It's madness. And you've got the NC2A involved, obviously these courts, these judges. I mean, is this ultimately going to have to go to the Supreme Court? Is that what we're looking at?
I don't see, Brendan, how this gets out of SCOTUS. I mean, somebody has got to make a ruling on this thing because these appeals. You're starting the season in 2 weeks. You don't even know who's on your roster.
It doesn't have to. The SCOTUS doesn't have to take this up. They can just remand it back to the lower courts and say, deal with it. I mean, why would they get their hands in this stuff if they don't need to?
What do you think, Statler?
I think it's a complete mess what the NCAA has created here. It feels kind of like Groundhog Day. I think we discuss this every show. It's always something going on with the NCAA and eligibility. They just keep digging the hole deeper with this eligibility thing. Who's eligible, who's not? It's hard to follow after a while. It's just I don't think anybody completely understands who's eligible and who isn't eligible at this point. I mean, you have people that are potentially on NFL rosters right now that they're saying are eligible for college football. It's a complete mess. I don't know. I don't know how they fix this now that the toothpaste is out of the tube. Honestly, it's crazy.
Well, Dan,
quarterback Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt. His professional career was short-lived, but his NC2A notoriety, however you want to put it, is long-lived. And he's the one that kind of started the whole thing, correct? With his ruling on getting the year back from New Mexico Junior College, and he got the extra year at Vanderbilt. And from that point, it's been nothing but madness.
Well, let's. I mean, guys, think about it. You leave the college system. Let's not throw in graduation. Even if you do graduate, you try out for, let's say, Diego Pavia goes to the Baltimore Ravens. He doesn't make the team. So where is his eligibility as a participant in the labor market? If you don't make the team and you're not on the opening day roster and you're not, quote unquote, paid to play, you're just trying.
Well, he actually is. Anytime you go to training camp, you're an employee.
You're paid.
Yeah, but you're not on the field during competition. It's like you applied for a job. They let you intern here for a little bit.
I don't think that's right, Chris. You signed a contract. And you get paid.
What's the difference? And then Diego Pavia playing for and paying under a contract for Vanderbilt, and then playing and not going back to play for Vanderbilt legally. I mean, just from a legal concept perspective, if you're employed to work for John Frederick, which we all know we make a lot of bank here, right? And when we go try out for ESPN, ESPN says you're just not quite ready yet. Okay, I'll go back to John Frederick's network.
Yeah, but you didn't get paid by ESPN. If ESPN,
I didn't get paid by John Fredericks either. You need to focus.
Well, no, that doesn't matter. You've got to look, Chris. If you go down that road, very funny. If you go down that road, you guys do this.
Look what he doesn't want to talk about all of a sudden.
No, I want to talk about it. This is a volunteer operation, and I appreciate you guys volunteering your time and effort. Ann and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
We know.
Cheers.
And we invite you to Colonial Downs. So there's your payback.
The chicken tenders were fabulous.
I know, and I get to take Chris on our bus tours where he's got to get up at 4 a.m. That's his payback. Woo! All over the country. But listen,
what a windfall.
Glorious. You've never watched the Super Bowl in the bus. You don't know what you're missing. Oh, yes, you
do. Did we see the Super Bowl in the bus? Is that what we did?
Yes.
They had Larry on top adjusting the antennas during the storm.
I don't remember that.
Larry was up there with the Starlink. Giving
where the hell were
Larry, stand on one foot.
Where the hell were
Larry was like the bunny, like rabbit ears back in the 50s.
Oh, my God. That's right. Well, we have Starlink, so we had a great connection. But that's right. Now that I remember it, I think we were in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere. But
we were trying our best not to remember the game.
We watched the Super Bowl in the bus on but it was great. We had so much fun. We got drunk by halftime. It was all good. I bet Seattle. I know I won that bet, right. But it's all good. All right, look, this is the thing, Chris, and I get what you're saying, but when you get to the point where somebody can sign a pro contract and then go back and play in college, which is also what they're trying to do in basketball. There's no more collegiate athletics. You might just blow the whole thing up. And
that's what's happening.
Are we already there?
Motion.
I think
we're
already
it up
there.
In slow motion. That's exactly what's happening. Did you sign a contract with Vanderbilt or the NCAA? Where's your legal obligation? And why does that preclude you from not coming back and signing another contract with Vanderbilt if you haven't, used up whatever eligibility? And who determines eligibility? The NCAA or Vanderbilt? What about the kids from the Mormon kids at BYU who go on mission for 2 years and come back, or the other Mormon schools? Who determines? And this is why it's so fascinating to watch this whole thing unfold.
In unrelated news, Brett Favre is going to play back at Southern Miss for one more year.
Hopgood, how's this play out, Dan?
Well, I said something in one of our group chats the other night. I wonder if ultimately we get to the point where we have these teams that are college affiliated, but they're not really with student athletes anymore. It's just like these are people that we end up recruiting or paying or whatever else to play for the enjoyment of the rest of the student population. That's we're almost there anyway.
Yeah.
But we basically have a sort of quasi G League for college sports for the big ones, not necessarily the quote unquote Olympic sports, but baseball, basketball, football. It's just minor league system.
Yeah.
Does anyone think Fernando Mendoza was actually going to class while he was at Indiana?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Does
I
anybody?
could see him.
Did he have
Absolutely.
to?
Well, we know that
Anybody
Carson Beck wasn't
care?
going into Miami.
Absolutely.
If Aaron
Beck,
Judge,
yeah, that was a better
Aaron
example.
Judge comes back. When he comes back, is he back? I don't think he's back yet. Say he comes back and he's hitting 150, and they go, you need some more at bats. We'll send you down to wherever their AAA team is, Trenton, Columbus, wherever the hell it is, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. Why can't he go back down to AAA if he's under contract with the Yankees? You can stay under contract with the Ravens if you're Diego Pavia. Go play for Vanderbilt, get a couple more reps. Where do you go to get your reps? If you're not quite ready for the NFL, what determines your eligibility? Your ability to play or the number of years you were in the NCAA system? This is a fascinating area of law, and I don't know how tradition doesn't manifest itself in law.
Here's the thing to throw at this as well, Chris. So the thing with colleges, other than your private universities like Boston College, USC, the vast majority of these institutions are state institutions financed by the taxpayers of that state. Does that change your perspective on all this?
Not a lick. If a kid, let's say Mendoza, I don't know how long he played because he bounced around. He went from like Yale, not
Cal.
to Yale,
He was at Cal for two or three
Cal.
years.
He wasn't that great at Cal. I'm starting to turn the corner on him based on his play the other night. But what is, say, hey, look, you're just not ready. You need some more reps. Coach says, and the general manager says, you're doing great. Or go to the Steelers with their 4 quarterbacks, and they go, Drew Aller, you're doing great. Or Will Howard's performance last night, we're going to send you down back to Ohio State.
He'd like to go to Ohio State school, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
can I get into a couple more classes?
Wrong color uniforms.
Hey, we made
And they
20
just say,
minutes,
look,
son.
the kid needs more reps. The same thing happens in baseball, Coach. They all say, if this kid just got 400 at bats, he'd be a better baseball player. Well, what about the football system says you're ineligible for the rest of your life, never to get those reps in a legitimate system? And sometimes they go to UFL, sometimes they go to Europe.
Because it's collegiate athletics.
What does that mean anymore?
You got to turn it into the minor league.
mean?
I mean, you guys, look, and somebody said, did what's his name, the Indiana guy, go to classes?
He may have, but did he have?
Look, you bet your ass he did, because he's playing Big Ten football. If you don't maintain your grade average in the Big Ten, you ain't coming back. You ain't going to go on that field. So there are still conferences that maintain a certain grade point average, where if you're not showing up and getting your grades, they kick your ass out. And I mean, I'm firsthand. I saw this happen with one of Maryland's best baseball players. Didn't go to class, didn't maintain his grades, couldn't get back.
Okay.
Ended up signing for 10 times more money with somebody else that doesn't have those restrictions. So where this whole thing is going is the NCAA dissolves. And then you have every conference decides its own rules. I don't know. And then that conference will be sued. So I don't know where this is going.
It's going to a super conference. I tell you, I've said this for months, if not a full year now. You're going to have to bifurcate your 2 major revenue sports, football and basketball, and have a relegation system, and then take the rest of the Olympic sports in colleges and make them the regional conferences that they used to be. Go back to that. There's no reason why a kid at Rutgers should be playing a conference game in L.A. for field hockey, for women's lacrosse, soccer. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. None. And this is just the reality portion of the program, right? It's going to kick in, and people are going to go, this is about money, and this is about contracts, and the rest of the stuff can go by the wayside. Because does
the
it really matter? Does it really matter if Pitt volleyball, women's volleyball, has to play Stanford and Cal during the week? No.
Chris, I totally agree. However, if you're talking like, let's say USC football, and they're going to play in the Big Ten, but their Olympic sports are going to stay more local in the old Pac-12, I think the football and basketball programs that say, well, screw you and these Olympic sports. We're keeping all the money we generate to ourselves.
Yeah.
So good luck with that women's tennis program playing Cal on a Tuesday afternoon in Berkeley.
Well,
I can see that happening.
Well, the cost structure.
And let's be honest, the cash cow for these Olympic sports is big time football and big time college basketball.
Yeah, and
as much as I love college baseball, other than the SEC, college baseball is a non-revenue sport.
Right, so they just play locally and they cut their costs in dramatically in half, especially on travel.
Yeah, but you still got to finance. You still got to finance that sport.
That's up to that school then. I mean, Title IX is going to kick in at some point, but eventually that might go by the wayside too. You don't know. This is the whole new area that we're walking into. You say you can't make it up. Guess what? We're going to make it up. We're going to figure out what the hell this thing is, and the rest of the country's going to go, I hadn't seen that 40 years ago. SEC's been paying guys for how long? I mean, go read the Bo Jackson book Jeff Pearlman put out there. You talk about, come on, what are we talking about here? God, it's criminal.
All right. Well, listen, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to get more lawsuits. You can't even make a prediction because it looked like on August 19th, these 33 players were going to play. And then it was a bonanza for lawyers because basically the way the Louisiana judge set it up was, we're going to rule case by case, which means you got 150 players, you got 150 suits. I mean, that's more chaos injected.
Can't do it.
My mind was all twisted just when you were explaining the ruling or whatever. I don't know how you kept that all straight. There were so many turns in that.
At the end of the day,
it's as complicated as anything in the mat.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, individual contract law will supersede all of this because my right as a human being to go out and make money in any market is determined by me and the employer.
That's right.
At the end of the day, that's got to be structured somehow in some way.
Yeah. I think Saxman's right. All right, guys, we're going to get out. We got a lot to cover today, and we're going to go to a quick word from our sponsor. Before I do, let me tease a couple things. When we get back, AP poll out, Ohio State #1. Is it legit or not? We're going to be talking about that and get our panel's view on it, along with the other top 25 teams, college football coming up. Game, well, we're only a week away. So it's about to start. One week away. I think it's TCU and North Carolina playing in Dublin or something. So that's coming up. Also, starting next week on the second hour of Godzilla Wins, we're going to be doing fantasy football. So far, we got me. We got, we got Trent. We've got Frank Zaccanelli. And we're wondering who else is going to volunteer to come in. It's going to be fantasy football. Our fantasy football is big. And we got to get in the game. And we started our own fantasy football league on WVSN. If somebody wants in, email me. I'll go to Jack. He's our commissioner, and we'll see if you guys are good enough to qualify for the WVSN League. Where I'm picking all the Titans players. I'm going to win the pot. See you guys after the break.
MyPillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium MyPillows that adjust your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
I guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable pillows you'll ever own. King size only $24.98, queen size only $19.98. Giza Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, as low as $29.98. Lux Pierce 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually dry you. What a concept. Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. Plus free shipping options available when you order today. So don't delay, order now.
Pennsylvania's big casinos want it all. Your money, your games, your choice. They rake in millions, then lobby Harrisburg to shut down the small businesses that dare to compete. Bars, VFWs, local spots, crushed so the casino giants can get even richer. They want to rig the system against you, but Pesomatic is fighting back. Skill games, fair play, real competition. No monopolies, no backroom deals. Just your right to play and win. Call Harrisburg now. Stand with small business. Stand with Pesomatic. Pesomatic, leveling the playing field. Paid for by Pesomatic.
Wagering at its finest, playing at the highest levels, under the highest stakes for more than a decade. This is the world Past the Wire has conquered, bringing you uncompromised thoroughbred authority and elite track data that anchors the game. But the modern wagering landscape is expanding. Every sport, every line, every prop, and every high leverage future, we decode the metrics across the entire board. From game day spreads to the explosive new frontier of prediction markets and event contracts, we give you intelligence to dominate the modern financial exchanges. Because in the end, it's a battle. You versus the house, you versus the other players. In this arena, we fight with you. We are your ultimate edge. Welcome to the Ultimate Wagering Network. Subscribe to Past the Wire TV and turn on notifications, because when the dust settles,
nobody does it better. Saturday morning, 6 on the radio, 11 on JFMN.TV. J-Fred's on YouTube, y'all. Subscribe today so you don't miss moments like this.
Democrats are doing, all they're doing, folks, is running on giving stuff away for free.
Watch live every morning and replay all day. All the great guests, the hot topic, the Hobgood Report, and America's Godzilla of Truth.
Jeb Bush, Joe Bush, Jack Bush, Joe Bush, this Bush, that Bush, Barbara Bush. They just want to get back to the Bushes.
Search John Fredericks Media and subscribe to the John Fredericks Show on YouTube. Subscribe today. Just do it. Godzilla Wins, where you get the best insight and best information on how to win the most money ever.
Guess what? GodzillaWins.com. Let's talk more winners.
Back to the show.
We're back on Godzilla Wins. Thanks for being with us, and I am your Godzilla of the Truth in America. So thanks for being with us. Our panel, Vince Mayako, Brendan Statler. Well, you know, Vince, the old ball coach, Brendan Statler, WVSN. Go to WVSportsnation.com. You can get his writing there. Also part of the The Torch sales team. Oh, he's coming with me to Nashville. Is that rumor true, Brendan? You firing up that WVSN truck? We going to Nash Vegas next week, right?
Absolutely.
Let's go. Let's go. Saxman wish he was going to Nashville, but he's stuck in somewhere in Central Virginia, the indelible one, Chris Saxman.
What are you talking about? Going to Nashville?
What for? We're going to Nash Vegas.
For what?
A week.
We can't discuss.
Use small words then. It'll be new.
To check into college playing eligibility.
Hey, that's the one rule.
We're going to check
the one rule of Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club.
We're going to have our binoculars. We're going to be checking out Cam Ward. We're going to be checking out the Titans.
Big game for them tomorrow night, playing the champs.
He's scouting for the Titans. He's trying to pick up their new talent.
Yeah, we got to, because I got to get ready for fantasy football next week, so I got to be ready to go. So
can we talk about how overrated fantasy football really is?
No, let's go to Dan Hobgood. You can't really do that, Saxman, because here's the reality of it. Okay, it is bigger than anything in America that people wager on. It blows away everything, and it's not even close. This fantasy football thing. You and I might not be fans of it. Like, I've never played it. I have no interest. I'm getting interested. But the reality is, like, you can't argue with numbers and stats. And the fantasy football, the participation in fantasy football from a wagering standpoint beats everything else by 6-7 to 1 in America. So you know what? We can deny it. But I'm also, a businessman. And so
I get it. I'm just kidding.
People are playing it, and everybody's playing it, and we're not talking about it. And so I resisted it. And finally, my son, who's the COO of this sports operation, said, Dad, I love you. You're 68, okay? You got to get with the times, okay? You just got to get with it.
He pulled the generation card on you?
He pulled the gen card.
So
then he got my
we're not going to
younger
see
son
an
involved.
squad in our league, I guess.
Then he got the Zoomer involved, who's like, yeah, dad's living back in the 70s with Dallas Cowboys and Strawback or something. So yes,
or another
going
team.
to it next week. Anyway, Hobgood, thanks for being with us, my
of course
morning producer. Oh, by the way, Dan hosting our show. When is it, Dan?
Week from Monday, I believe.
That's right. Your big chance Monday.
Yeah.
We'll see how you do.
Which show? The John Frederick Show, 6 to 10?
Yeah,
that's right.
You better have Saxman on.
I'd love to have Saxman on.
I can't carry him. I can't carry him. I can't carry him.
He has an early tea time too.
It's hard enough carrying Fredericks on the road when we're
I know,
in
right?
Iowa or Texas. But God, can you imagine carrying Dan? Jesus.
It's a heavy lift.
I don't have that many vertebrae to crush.
That's right. It's a heavy lift.
Okay, once a week, you guys make me laugh so hard that I actually have to stop the show. I don't know what it was last week, but this week
it was the WNBA Powerful Black Lesbian Caucus that
Seisman says I got to carry Fredericks. Now I got to carry Hobgood.
That's
it's an albatross you wear around your neck, Seisman. All right, let's get back to this.
And don't even get paid. God help me.
We provide you with we provide you with a never-ending supply of adult beverage at your whimsy. So
with Larry the cable guy on top of the van.
Stop while you're behind, okay? Just stop while you're behind. Stop digging.
And we don't buy cheap booze on the bus. That's the other thing. We don't even allow it in. Somebody
fair.
tries to come in with that stuff, we don't even allow it in.
Is that where
Turn it away at the door.
That's fair.
Only premium stuff for us. Grey Goose, Knob Creek. Somebody tried to come in with Jack Daniels. We threw them out. Can't have it here. Right?
No Jack Daniels?
Not even the whiskey?
No, it's awful. No, it's garbage. No.
What about the glaze for like TGI Fridays? It's pretty good.
Okay, let's get to Ohio State. Now, they're ranked number 1. I'm going to start off, and then everybody can pile on. So I give you guys some really good fodder. Okay? Should they be ranked number 1? Abso-freaking-lutely. This team, look, guys, this team is so loaded. Now, first of all, I think they should be number 1. Second of all, they got a hell of a shot to go undefeated. Maybe they get beat one game. Somebody beats them on the road. But I think they are the number 1 team without a doubt. If you look at who they're bringing back, Julian Sayin, right? This guy's legit, 3,000 yards. Bo Jackson, great running back. He's coming back. They got the most fast, electrifying receiver in college football, Jeremiah Smith. The majority of their defenses come back. Now, here's the deal with Ohio State. If Ryan Day runs the football 2 times at the 1-yard line, they win that Big Ten championship game. They probably go on to win the whole championship. They dump Indiana's unbeaten magical season. All he had to do was run the football. The majority of these kids they remember that. I love Ohio State. I think they're number 1. I think they win the whole thing. That's my pick, and they could go undefeated. Let's go around the horn and start with Vince.
Well, I got a chance to watch your show on Thursday, Game On America, where you guys talk Big Ten football and the over-under on season wins. And I believe we have, Ohio State at 9.5, correct?
No, they're... Yes, 9.5. 9.5.
Oh, take the over.
Take the over in that one,
Holy
John.
cow.
Take the over.
That's my best bet.
We started looking at some of this, and I told Brendan at the very beginning that I looked at some of these other conferences with these over-under numbers. There's some value there, some real value, and that's one of them. Ohio State at 9.5.
When was the last time that Ohio State won 9 games?
Exactly.
Well,
and,
they got
come on.
if they did, Dan, that coach probably got fired.
Yeah,
exactly. They've got a very tough schedule. That's kind of the thing. At USC, at Oregon, right? They got a very tough schedule, but
no, they got Oregon. They got Oregon at home. They got Oregon at home.
Yeah, they got Oregon at home. They're
the
at USC. Look, they have a tough schedule, but this is the best team on paper. You sit there and tell me that they're not going to win 10 games. All they got to do is go 10-1. I mean, 10-2. So
John,
you can lose 2 games and still win the bet. Give me that all day long plus.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the ironic thing: if Ohio State goes 10-2, their fans are going to be irate that they went 10-2, and they're going to be in the playoffs,
especially after not making the playoffs last year. Right.
Well,
in all fairness, it's the only team in Ohio that they're used to consistently winning. So,
well played, sir.
Fair. So, but it comes down. I think the whole season for them hinges on in week 2 when they go to Texas, and they play the number 5 Longhorns in Texas.
You know, the ironic thing
be a
about
great
that,
game.
John, is Ohio State is the clear number 1 team in the country, but their over/under number is lower than Oregon, who's at 10.5, which is kind of interesting. There, you would think by that you would think, well, Oregon's favorite to win the Big Ten, but they're not, and Oregon is the number 2 team in the country as opposed to Ohio State being 1. So a lot of value there with
if
that.
you're playing
taking the
over, if you're playing over/under in college football. This is my best bet of the season. I mean, I love Ohio State's over. I'm all over that because I think this team is probably going to win 11 games. I think they could go undefeated. And as far as the Texas game, I'm glad you brought that up. I can't wait for that game. I don't care what the spread is. I don't care. I am betting Ohio State. I'm betting the big, and I tell you why. I've got Julian Sayin, and they got Arch Manning. Are you kidding me? Like the difference in these two quarterbacks is it's like D1, Power 4, one of the best quarterbacks against somebody that every other game is a stinker. I'm going Ohio State all over. They win that game. As much as I like the Trojans, if they beat the Trojans on the road, forget about it. Cash in, easy bet.
I think the difference in the Oregon and Ohio State comes down to 2 major factors. One, Ohio State has Texas at Texas. That's the difference, I think, in their schedule. And Oregon has a much easier schedule as a result. But you come down to the November 7th game where Oregon goes to Ohio State. That's what this whole bet's going to hinge on. That game right there.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Buckeyes are unbeatable most times at the shoe.
You know, if you take what Saxman said, which is really a brilliant analysis. Okay, all right. The whole bet of over is going to hinge on that Oregon game.
100%.
100%, right? So if you just think about this logically betting, what do you think that game will be? That the line on that game. What do you think it'll be?
3.5.
I was about to say 3.5 Ohio State.
3.5.
Yeah.
Could be 4. Could be 5. Right.
Injuries dependent. But yeah.
So basically, I'm getting Ohio State at home, even money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Minus big with the over under, because your whole 9-5 bet hinges on that game. Right. So I got Ohio State even money when they're probably going to be a 4 or 5 point favorite. That's where you find the value. That's where Vince nailed it. That's where the value is if you look hard enough.
So if you look at it that way, then John, take Ohio State on the over and Oregon on the under, correct? With the season totals, if you're going to value that
Not
game.
necessarily, because Oregon's 10-5. Oregon can still get beat in that game and run the table and beat everybody else, which is why I picked them, which I picked on the Thursday show over, because I think Oregon loses one game, and that's this game in Ohio State, because that team is, I tell you what, that you're talking about lighting up a scoreboard. That team is loaded offensively. They got the majority of their players coming back, and now they got a defense. Hey, give Lincoln Riley a defense where, you know, he can keep his offense, he can keep the other team from scoring 6 touchdowns a game. Now you got something. I'm sorry, I said Lincoln Riley. I was talking about USC. Go ahead, somebody bail me out.
And speaking of USC, I really like them. I think, what are they, 8.5?
Yeah.
I think USC's got the type of team that can make the playoffs, and I almost think they have to this year for
you were saying
Lincoln
that last
Riley's
week, Coach.
Longevity at USC. I mean, they've invested a ton of money in him when they brought him in. Obviously, he brings in Gary Patterson to run the defense, probably one of the better defensive coaches in college football over the last decade or two. He has some really good teams at TCU. So I look at it that way. I mean, I could see Oregon going to Ohio State and losing. I could see Oregon going to USC and losing, and that puts them under that number. So, and like I said, I like USC a lot this year. I really do. I think they're going to be the team to watch here on the West Coast.
That might be something where you go bet that on the Kalshi market, and as your odds improve throughout the year, you can cash out and make money without actually placing the
I was
whole
thinking
bet
about
through.
the same thing with the Ohio State Oregon game. You get past that.
That's the thing about the predictive markets. You can just cash out. So if you think you're in good shape, I don't play them for obvious reasons, but that is one of the benefits there, because it is a betting market. You're not betting, as we said a week ago, against the house. You're betting against other players buying shares one way or the other, and they just take the rake, like you're playing in a poker game, I guess, in Vegas. Let's look. So we got a couple sleepers here. I think I like Ohio State over. I like USC over 8.5. Those are really my two best bets. Both of them are in the Big Ten. Let's go off topic a second. Off Big Ten. What's going on with Clemson? What's going on with Coach Debo? Is he too stubborn? Is he not seeing the smell of the coffee? Is he still trying to go in the living rooms and get high school players? Is he still not going in the portal? I mean, everybody was kind of rooting for him, but his team hasn't done very well. What happens now? Somebody jump in.
We're gonna find out. Game 1, Labor Day weekend, they go to Baton Rouge.
Ooh.
We're gonna see if Clemson is for real or not at that game. But I think Dabo has the system, and he played to the system, and I think he's taking in more transfers now. Had lunch with a close friend of Dabo's on Wednesday, and the guy always wears his Clemson jacket with the paws in there and everything. And it's the school's behind him, but I don't know how long that lasts if they don't have a good season this year. They might say.
And the thing with Sachs, looking at Clemson's futures, they're at 7.5 right now, and I don't know. I kind of like that over bet.
Yeah, that's another good over. Jeez.
Well, I mean, whenever you do that, look at the schedule. They at Baton Rouge. They got Georgia Southern at home, win. North Carolina at Clemson.
That's a win.
Clemson at Cal. Miami at Clemson. Charleston Southern. Then they have Virginia Tech at home. They go to Florida State. They go to Syracuse. They have Georgia Tech at home. Duke on the road, and they have USC, Carolina at Clemson to finish up. Fairly favorable schedule to get to 8 wins, but that first game is the determinant.
No, I agree. Yeah,
that's it. They got a rough start.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You know what you could do is you could take Clemson on the over, and if they go in and beat LSU that following Monday, you could sell your over right there.
That's it. But they go in a 9.5-point underdog at LSU.
Okay, this was not on the schedule, but I got to get you guys to weigh in here. Chip Kelly, how far the mighty have fallen. Remember all the Chip Kelly buzz? He was an offensive genius. He was a head coach of the Eagles, and he was going to do this and that. He had 200 plays, and then he was, he was like everybody's favorite coach. And now he's the offensive coordinator of the Northwestern Wildcats after being fired from like 5 consecutive jobs. So just you guys weigh in on this. What happened to Chip Kelly?
I'm still, because remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he was the offensive coordinator for Ohio State, and they won a national championship, by the way, with him as the OC. And then I forget where he went last year.
UCLA. Never mind. That was after. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously he obviously made his mark at Oregon and went to the NFL, as you mentioned, John, and then didn't end well in Philly. I think he was with the Niners for a year or 2 at the most. Gets fired. He goes back to college. Was the UCLA head coach, and when UCLA hired him almost a decade ago, okay, now UCLA is going to be good, and they never really got over the hump at UCLA. Granted, like I said, 2 years ago, he was the OC at Ohio State, and they did win a national championship. But that's a far cry from OC at Ohio State and OC at Northwestern.
A little bit of a dip, right?
Yeah.
I think his career is on the low end. They say comes in with the Eagles, had a revolt. He came in with 200 plays, and nobody could figure the thing out. It was too wild. So we'll see what happens there. I don't think Northwestern wins their number either. I think it's 5.5. Let me just go to one more best bet before we get to the games for over under.
They got that brand new stadium they got to fill up.
brand new stadium. If you really want to make money, Michigan State is 3.5. This team is not going to win a game. Okay, they are not going to win a game. Maybe they beat the MAC team, right? Ohio Bobcats or something. Maybe they win one game. This team is a dumpster fire beyond your comprehension. Nobody wants to go there. They've not recruited well. They're in a 3 or 4 year rebuild. Their number is 3.5. If they win a game, like pop the champagne, that's one of your best bet unders. They're really horrible, and they have a tough schedule. They're going to be the doormat of the Big Ten. Spartans, tough season coming up. Okay.
They open up 2 home games, Toledo and Eastern Michigan at home, and they end with Rutgers on the road. That could be your 3.
It's 3.5.
Right now.
That's the problem.
So they got to pull an upset somewhere along the ways, and that might be Michigan State at UCLA or at Northwestern at home.
And they used to be a solid second-tier Big Ten team. Was it D'Antonio who was their longtime coach?
He was good.
Yeah, he was good. Then they get rid of him, right? But then they had that coaching scandal. The guy who replaced him, right, had some sort of a thing happen. So
when D'Antonio was there, they were the best team in Michigan.
Yeah, back in the day. But I'm going to predict right now, they don't win both those home games to start the season. One of those.
I would look at the amount of transfers that they've brought. I don't know anything about the program, quite frankly. I do know that they have a substantial financial backer at that university. I think he put in like $400 million or some obscene amount of money. I have to go look him up here at the break. But they have the financial resources to put a lot of transfers on the field and catch a lot of people by surprise with a team that no one's thinking about.
I like the under there. I don't see it. And you know why? Let me just tell you this. One of the reasons is because the coach said we're in a multi-year rebuild. So when a coach is preparing the fans for a debacle, you're going to get a debacle. He didn't say, you know what, we got a lot of players. We could surprise some people. We could sneak in. Yeah. He said, we're in a multi-year rebuild. Have patience. That means hammer the under in the first season because he's already telling you they're not going to win. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, quick break. When we get back, let's start going over. Look, next week, it starts Dublin noon on TCU -7 over Bill Belichick. We'll get to that and all the other games when we get back. You're on Godzilla Wins. Now we're getting my favorite thing. We're picking lines, baby. Let's go. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cell's Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
And they're off. This summer, the Thunder returns to Colonial Downs Racetrack. Live thoroughbred racing June 25th through September 7th. Feel the excitement. Hear the roar of the crowd. Experience Virginia's premier horse racing destination every Thursday through Sunday all summer long. Bring the whole family for Family Fun Sundays, packed with activities for all ages. Parking? Free. General admission? Free. Memories? Priceless. Make Colonial Downs Racetrack your new summer fun time tradition. Get tickets and race day info now at colonialdowns.com.
New on the John Frederick Media Network, Game On America Sports. The facts behind the headline. Analytics for winning wagers. College football Thursday. NFL football Friday. All that and more with Sarah Strackhouse and NBA executive insider Frank Zaccanelli. Game On America Sports. Weeknight 6 p.m. all over the network and JFMN.TV. Godzilla Wins, where you get the best insight and best information on how to win the most money ever.
Guess what? GodzillaWins.com. Let's talk more winners.
You heard the man. The all-new GodzillaWins.com is all about winners, with fresh daily picks by J-Fred and your favorite players from the Godzilla Wins team. Get your hot takes from the show, then click the website for the dough. GodzillaWins.com.
GodzillaWins.com. Let's talk more winners.
Let's get back to the show that's all about winning dough. Godzilla Wins. Less talk, more winners.
I love that mantra, guys. I actually came up with it. You're back on Godzilla Wins. I'm John Fredericks. We've got Brendan Statler, Chris Saxman, and the old ball coach, Vince Mayako. Also, Dan Hobgood. Thanks for being with us. You can go to Godzilla Wins every day. Get my picks up there. GodzillaWins.com. That's GodzillaWins.com. 1-1 last night. 1-1, folks, not going to make you any money. I'm sorry. But today, we're going to have a better day. I love Saturdays. Always have a good Saturday. And Cubs screwed me last night, losing in 10 innings to the lowly Mariners. It's another team I can't win a bet on is the Cubs. Anyway, having said that, we were 1-1. Move on. Next day, all good. Let's get back to our panel. Great to have you guys with us. Don't forget, next week, second hour, we're going to do fantasy football. We're going to be talking about that. And we're going to have some new people on the panel. I know Trent will be with us. Frank Zaccanelli will be with us. I'll be there. Maybe Saxman. We'll have to see. Maybe Statler gets in. We'll see what these guys want to do. But don't miss that. Now, let's go to the first game on the board. TCU, the Horned Frogs in Dublin. Bill Belichick, he's taking his North Carolina Tar Heels there, and they install TCU as a 7-point favorite. Let's go around the horn, get your analysis. Brendan Statler, lead us off.
Yeah, I have no confidence in the North Carolina Tar Heels after seeing what they put on the field every week last year. I love the Horned Frogs to dominate this game. I don't think it's going to be close.
Vince?
I'm going to go the opposite direction on this. I was not a fan last year going in, and I think I called it. I think I said that Carolina will be lucky to win 4 games, and
That's
I think
right.
Is that where I think they won 4 games last year, But let's be honest. I mean, the probably the most important thing is will girlfriend Jordan Hudson be wearing a green dress in Dublin, Ireland? What's the odds of that? No, in all seriousness, I kind of like Carolina here. Number one, they got their backsides beat down last year by TCU. And you'll think revenge factor, that could play a part possibly. But check out the money line. It's plus 260. I think that's worth putting a few greenbacks down and see if Carolina can win this outright.
Okay. Saxman?
Yeah, I think everyone likes to pile on Bill Belichick.
We do.
Yeah, but TCU is a really good ball club historically. I think it could be the make or break for the season for the Tar Heels. You go, especially because it's going to be national exposure. You got all the drama that's going on. I think TCU wins, probably covers, but I wouldn't take. I don't think taking Carolina straight out of the gate is a smart bet.
Hobgood?
TCU in the points.
You mean minus the 7?
Oh yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. But they're. I don't see Carolina coming within 7 points of TCU.
I don't either. I agree.
I mean, TCU.
Now,
really,
TCU lost their starting quarterback. He transferred to Indiana.
right.
So keep that in mind. They'll have a new guy behind center. So
They were.
Is Tom Brady suiting up for Carolina?
They were almost.
He might be eligible.
That's right.
They were almost ranked. They were just out of the top 25 AP rankings, so they were almost ranked. And I can't see this North Carolina team going to Dublin and even staying in this game. And with all the controversy they've had, and their general manager got Lowry's on leave or something, just too much distractions. I just don't see it. And if you look at Texas Christian University football, this is a good team with a very serious opportunity to basically compete in the Big 12. So I just don't see North Carolina going in there winning the game. So then it becomes, are they going to win by 7 or 10? And I've said this 100 times. If I don't think the underdog can win the game outright, I don't bet him. So I like the Horned Frogs -7.
What I think the biggest question mark for Carolina this year is, does Bobby Petrino as offensive coordinator do anything with that program? That's the untold or undiscussed reality here. He's a great offensive coach. Does it matter in this system? Do they have the players to get the win? And I don't think people are really factoring the level of coaching that Carolina actually has.
Well, it is interesting. You get two NFL coaches, right? Petrino and Belichick. So on paper, but coaches. The problem is, guys, coaches aren't on the field; they're coaching, and if you don't have the talent, you don't have the talent. And my biggest concern here with this game, if you're betting the Tar Heels, is there's a pretty significant weight difference up front on both sides of the ball. I mean, TCU players, their offensive and defensive line are heavier and bigger, not by a lot, but almost across the board. So they got bigger players. And, you look at the whole North Carolina program, other than Belichick and the coaches, I just don't see why you're going to go there. So with all their turmoil, I'm going to go with TCU -7. Okay, San Jose State, well, they go to USC, who's our pick here to all win the over. They have to win this game. This is -38.5, probably going to go up to -40. A lot of these early games, I've made money just laying the points because Lincoln Riley's going to want to run up this score. He's going to want to make a statement. So I'm going to lay the basically what this comes out to be is 6 touchdowns on the Trojans. Statler?
I would agree, John. I don't think it's going to be close at all.
Vince?
Yeah, well, it could be close, and San Jose could cover too. So that's so many points.
It's a lot of points.
It's 6 touchdowns. I mean, they got to beat him by 6. They got to beat him by 6 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns.
A lot.
Yeah, that is. And I like USC, but I don't know. I don't see, for what it's worth. I'll take San Jose State in that one.
Saxman?
A lot of points. First game. It's a lot of points. You got to that offense has to be firing on all cylinders out of the gate, and that's a lot of points so early in the season. And I have no idea what San Jose is bringing to the table to play this game.
I think San Jose and the State and the points. That's like Saxman said. That's a lot of points. Like Vince
all right,
said,
you're all taking the 38.5 except me. I'm laying it, and I'm going to cash.
Oh, I thought Statler was with you.
Statler's with me, man.
I'll go with you, John. I don't see any way that game's close.
I mean,
Statler's on the payroll. That's why
I'm on the payroll.
Well, yeah, this is a 55.
He gets Larry the Cable Guy and no.
We got to go to a break. We're at top of the hour. Al saying time for a break. Al, smooth Al Green. When Al Green speaks,
smooth.
Listen, he's smooth. And we'll be right back.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cell's Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
MyPillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium MyPillows that adjust your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got my pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
I guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable pillows you'll ever own. King size only $24.98, queen size only $19.98. Giza Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, as low as $29.98. Lux Pierce 6-piece towel sets. Towels that actually dry you. What a concept. Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. Plus free shipping options available when you order today. So don't delay, order now.
And they're off. This summer, the Thunder returns to Colonial Downs Racetrack. Live thoroughbred racing June 25th through September 7th. Feel the excitement. Hear the roar of the crowd. Experience Virginia's premier horse racing destination every Thursday through Sunday all summer long. Bring the whole family for Family Fun Sundays, packed with activities for all ages. Parking? Free. General admission? Free. Memories? Priceless. Make Colonial Downs Racetrack your new summer fun time tradition. Get tickets and race day info now at colonialdowns.com.
New on the John Fredericks Media Network, Game On America Sports. The facts behind the headline. Analytics for winning wagers. College football Thursday. NFL football Friday. All that and more with Sarah Strackhouse and NBA executive insider Frank Zaccanelli. Game On America Sports. Weeknight 6 p.m. all over the network and JFMN.TV. J-Fred's on YouTube, y'all. Subscribe today so you don't miss moments like this.
Democrats are doing, all they're doing, folks, is running on giving stuff away for free.
Watch live every morning and replay all day. All the great guests, the hot topics, the Hobgood Report, and America's Godzilla of Truth.
Jeb Bush, Joe Bush, Jack Bush, Joe Bush, this Bush, that Bush, Barbara Bush. They just want to get back to the Bushes.
Search John Fredericks Media and subscribe to the John Fredericks Show on YouTube. Subscribe today. Just do it. Right now, download the new WV Sports Nation app from the Apple Store or Google Play and get the entire Mountaineer sports world in the palm of your hand. Right now, get notified when new stories drop about your favorite Mountaineers teams and athletes. Download the WV Sports Nation app right now. Get updates on next level Mountaineers like Weatherholt and Joe Mazzulla. All that and more right in your pocket right now. Download the new WV Sports Nation app from the Apple Store or Google Play. Download the app right now. Godzilla Wins, where you get the best insight and best information on how to win the most money ever.
Guess what? GodzillaWins.com. Let's talk more winners.
Back to the show.
Great to have you back on Godzilla Wins. I'm John Fredericks, your host today, sitting in for Mitch Rogers. He'll be back next week. Don't forget to, if you're in West Virginia, WVSportsNation.com, WVSportsNation.com. You want to download the free app, everything WVU Sports. Just download their free app. It's so easy to do. Just go to Google Play or the App Store, put in WV Sports Nation. Boom, it comes right up, and you are rocking and rolling. You don't want to miss that. Starting, well, it's going to be coming up pretty soon, 2 hours before every single WVU football game. We got our tailgate show, our pregame show, which is Mountaineer Tailgate. That's going to be hosted by Mitch Rogers 2 hours before every single WVU football game. Rich Rod is going to be on our show live. We're having this interview nationally Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't want to miss that. Rich Rod, coach of WVU Mountaineers, live on the John Fredericks Media Network. But we're fired up. Don't forget Mitch Rogers and Mountaineer Tailgate. And Brendan Stowler is going to be there, and all your friends.
Let's go.
This is from the press box to the parking lot, baby. This show is so hot. We've gotten so much positive feedback. So many people are fired up. Also, one of our co-hosts there is State Senator from Fairmont, Chris Rose. Played a little bit of football back in his day. So it's going to be a lot of fun. No suits, no pre-tape, none of that stuff. No highfalutin, big radio stations with all the money. Just right down and dirty, the way WVU likes it in the parking lot, baby. That's going to be our pregame show for the fans.
We may or may not have couches burning during the show, John.
Not for the suits. It's going to be fun. This is a fun concept. We've
it is.
You know, we kind of concocted this. We concocted it, and we said, let's get out of the press box. Let's get our suits off. Let's go to where the action is. Let's go to the parking lot, and let's do a pregame show. Let's call it Tailgate, and let's see what happens. And it's taken off like crazy. So I think we just might be onto something. So you don't want to miss that. You say, well, what time is it, John? Well, 2 hours before every WVU football game. So if the football game's at 3, it's at 1. Football game's at 12. It's at 10. Doesn't matter when it is. That's when it is. So it's going to be a lot of fun starting on with the Coastal Carolina game. So you don't want to miss that. All fun. Now back to Godzilla Wins. We've got the old ball coach, Vince Mayako, Dan Hobgood, my morning producer, Brendan Statler. We still have Chris Saxman. Did he bail on us? No Saxman.
There he
There he is.
Getting his coffee, and Michelle made him breakfast, made him nice scrambled eggs, and cut him up nice for him. Such a
John, we've went an hour and no Pittsburgh talk. What's going on?
Well, that's not quite true.
I was trying to get through the whole
That's
show.
not quite true.
Oh, so how about the Steelers last
Oh
night,
my
guys?
God!
Jesus.
I was going for the record. Oh my God!
I think we set the record.
I had Al Green over here watching the game with me, and yeah, it was sleep inducing.
What game? What, you guys are watching preseason games? Come on, man! It's like
At least we're not betting it like Mitch does. Mitch is betting season. I'm like, that's when you gotta call 1-800-GAMBLER, John.
Oh man,
that's right. We go to Betty Ford.
When you're betting the exhibition games, you go 1-800-Betty Ford. No, that's beyond 1-800-GAMBLER. You call 1-800-Betty Ford when you're betting preseason games. Oh my God! All right,
the quarterback controversy is over.
Why is that?
Yeah,
Will Howard will not be starting an NFL game this year.
Well,
not for the Steelers.
Neither is Aller. I mean, we got Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that was even a
no.
debate.
Mason Rudolph is not going anywhere. I thought he might be traded. He's not going anywhere.
I don't think Howard's even going to make the team. He'll be on the practice squad.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think
they'll keep four.
I think Rudolph should be gone. Is he going to be? No.
Well, they need a backup if something happens to Rodgers. By the way,
Aller did okay last night.
Drew Aller right now.
By the way, on Game America Sports last night, they went through the AFC, the overs and unders, and I think there's 4 panelists on that show. They all picked the Steelers under, every single one of them. I picked them over. I already bet the over. I already bet that. That bet's in and gone.
The bet's 8.5, right?
Yeah, I bet that at 8.5. And, you know, the thing about when you bet the over under for the season, I mean, I got only so much money to bet, right? That I'm allowed by you know who. So I got to manage that. And the problem with betting for the season is that money's tied up. And I don't bet the Kulshi thing. So that money's tied up until the end of the season. So I got to be very careful with that as I manage.
One of the things I've noticed about all the other shows that do all these predictions, all the analysts out there is no better way to drive your ratings than to crap on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's Colin Cowherd's only brand. You know, here we have the Pittsburgh Steelers gonna have another banner year under Mike Tomlin. And he just craps on him all day long. Why? He gets the clicks and the likes and everything else like that.
That was a pretty good impression, actually.
Yeah.
Just gonna practice saying always.
I love the Steelers. I love the Steelers 8.5 over. I mean, I think this team is
going
to win 10 games. Everybody's writing off Rodgers. Okay.
Why?
This guy, why? This guy came back.
He had a good year last year.
Well, you know, he knows he can play.
My only concern is the line. As long as the line protects him, we're good.
Well, you got rid of that one loser. You shipped him off to the Titans. He's horrible.
And for that, we thank you, John.
Told you. Last year I told you. You take Dan Moore, I will send you money.
You should have. That guy is pathetic. In fact, the Titans, what are they, 6.5? That's tough. That's tough. They all picked the under last night. But I don't know.
8.5, I love that.
I love Steelers at 8.5. All right, let's get to the Heisman board right now. We're going to go to Heisman board. I'm gonna run through the players. You guys tell me what you think. C.J. Carr, Notre Dame, plus 700. Plus 700 means 7-1. You bet $100 he's Heisman, you win 700. Arch Manning, plus 750.
Can we just stop on Arch Manning?
Yes.
Would he be there but for his name?
Last name, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Move on.
No, okay. And then we'll go. I'll just outline them, and then we'll go through them all.
Right.
Dante Moore, Oregon, plus 1,100, which is 11-1. Darian Mensah, Duke, 12-1. Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State, 14-1. Interesting. Okay, only non-quarterback that we're talking about here. Let's get to Let's just go around the panel. Who do you like? Who do you not like? Coach Vince.
I like Dante Moore from Oregon. I believe he was a finalist last year. I think he made it to New York. I think Sayans did as well, too, from Ohio State. To me, those are the two front runners. So I'm really surprised that Moore is not, I think you can get good value with Dante Moore.
Yeah.
Well, he's 11-1. So that's your pick, 11-1. Statler?
I like Dante Moore as well. I think it's entirely too early to predict, but Dante Moore, I would agree, is the front runner. But I agree. I think it's silly that Arch Manning's even in the conversation.
You're not making predictions. You're making bets. So, I mean, you got to make a bet. You like 11-1.
Yeah.
Saxman, go ahead.
This will come down to Oregon and Ohio State.
Yes.
At Ohio State. This is why the kid from Oregon, Dante Moore, is going to win the Heisman, and they're going to beat Ohio State in Ohio State.
Okay.
You're predicting. Oh, wow. Okay.
Look, it's schedule based. You have to. The schedule is more daunting for Ohio State, even though I think they're hungrier because they were so close last year
and got screwed.
But Oregon, they're putting some players on the field. They're paying and playing. So I especially like the odds on Dante to pay out.
11-1. Hobgood?
Yeah.
Julian Sayin.
So I'm going with Hobgood. I'm going with Julian Sayin. I think Ohio State is a national championship. I'm going to take Julian Sayin at 12-1. 12-1 means you bet $100 he's a Heisman winner. You're going to win $1,200. Look, if you think Ohio State is going to win the national championship, you go with Julian Sayin. If you think it's going to be Oregon, like Saxman does, then you go with Dante Moore. And Saxman is right. It all comes down to one game. This is why you tune us in, because we give you all the insight. It comes down to one game. Oregon goes into the big house. They go into 100,000 people at Ohio State. If they win that game, they're probably going to be the national champs. If they get beat, Ohio State's on track to run the table. So that's going to be the fun game, guys. So thank you for that. Did I miss anybody? We all got our picks in?
Well, I think just have to analyze, the favorite, CJ Carr out of Notre Dame, what's that schedule look like, and can he overcome the hype that's going to come with the Ohio State-Oregon matchup?
The problem is they're not in the conference. So independent, and somebody said this the other day, I think it was Coach Vince. They can't get in the top 4 playoffs. So they don't get a home game because they're not a conference winner. So best they can do is 5th. And now they got to start playing games on the road, going through that conference. They
have a weak schedule.
They have a totally weak schedule. They did it on purpose.
Yeah.
They're not playing, there's something, guys, about conference games. They're just tougher. I don't care if it's baseball or soccer. You play a conference game, it's a different level of intensity. And they don't have any conference games because they're not in a conference.
Here's how they start out. This is why there's going to be a lot of hype on CJ Carr early. Rice at Notre Dame, Michigan State at Notre Dame, Notre Dame at Purdue, Notre Dame at North Carolina, Stanford at Notre Dame. They don't have a game of any consequence until they go to BYU in the middle of October. And then the only game that really has on the schedule that you should be concerned about if you're betting Notre Dame over under is Miami at Notre Dame on the 7th of November, which is a huge weekend. You want to pencil off that whole weekend, November 7th, that weekend, and I think September 26th. Those are the 2 weekend, like you just sit down and you do nothing but watch college football those 2 days and nothing else. Those are they should be national holidays on Fridays just to prepare for the hangover you're going to have on Saturday.
Chris, my wife Ann just texted me and said, what Saxman said, what's the difference between that and my husband every Saturday starting next week? There's no difference.
Well, the difference is the gambling is going to be a lot more intense, and you're probably going to be so fired up you're going to watch English Premier League soccer start at 7:00 in the morning. Going, what the hell am I up for? And you'll watch all the way until midnight with the West Coast games.
Oh my God! It's when you've hit degenerate stage, Vince. When you had a tough Saturday and you're trying to get out, betting the whole Hawaii game at midnight. That's when you know you got a problem.
I've already got those days scheduled with my sons to come over, and we're gonna have like sleepovers the night before, preparing for those 2 days. We'll have 5 games on at one time on the 2 screens. It's gonna be an explosion, literally and figuratively.
That's when you got to
never underestimate a Hawaii New Mexico game at midnight.
If you had a bad Saturday and you're trying to get out for Sunday, I mean, you got nothing else to do but that game. That or Fresno State playing somebody. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Pac-12 after dark this year. Pac-12 back in business.
I kind of missed the Pac-12 at midnight, right back in the day.
Yeah.
You had something to do, and I remember one day I was out of money and I just won a game at like 11:40. I forget who it was, some college game. I just won the game, but the kickoff was coming up for like the Hawaii game, and DraftKings didn't grade it. I don't know why. So I'm like waiting there to get money in the account to bet the other game at midnight. Then you know you got to call 1-800-BETTY Ford.
Yeah.
Betty, help me.
Let's look at the Hawaii schedule, shall we? so you can set your calendar. They open up at Stanford, and then they have UNLV at home. I think that UNLV game is something special to look out for, because that might be the game that redeems you, because UNLV goes to Hawaii and is a 3-point favorite. Pencil that one in to make your money back.
Bet the Rainbows. Let's go.
That's right.
Okay,
The Rainbow
guys.
Warriors.
Let me ask everybody this on the panel. Indiana, they're number 6. They were in the national championship, or undefeated. Is that an insult, or is it based on just roster turnover? And last year they were kind of Cinderella, and everybody, they had all the hype, and Signelli saying, "Google me, I win." I said this on the show Thursday night. They came in and last season to these different teams, and they were the hunter. Now every road game they're the hunted. Everybody wants to beat them and shut Signetti up. Does that make a difference, Saxman?
Yeah, I mean, there's a turnover there. They relied on transfers, but Signetti's a great coach. He did great at JMU. He's going to do great again at Iowa. They open up North Texas, Howard. They're playing Howard at home. Western Kentucky, Northwestern, Rutgers, Nebraska. That's how they open up the season. The first game is Ohio State and Indiana, and that's the middle of October. So they're going to get their act together. They're going to get their synchronicity on offense and defense and special teams, and they're going to get a lot of confidence. And I think Signetti is going to have probably a 2-loss season. They got to go to Michigan. They have USC at home. They go to Washington, but they have a very favorable schedule to run the table again. The question is, do they have Fernando Mendoza? They do not.
How good?
I don't bet against Curt Signetti. That guy, like he says, Google him. He wins.
He wins.
I think he's the best coach in college football, and I don't know if there's a second place.
The question is, do they cover?
He's great.
Statler.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they're ranked back that far. I mean, of course, they have the turnover. They don't have Fernando Mendoza anymore. But like we said, Coach Signetti, he's going to find a way to win. They're not going to be as dominant as they were last year, I don't think, but they're still going to be contending. They're going to be very.
They will not fall out of the top 10.
No, I don't think so either.
Based on that schedule, no way.
Okay, let's get to Coach Vince.
Yeah, I agree. They're 10.5, I believe, is their win total. And that seems, wow. I mean, if they go 10-2, I think they've had a great year, and that would fall under the under. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing that I like with their quarterback situation in looking back. Fernando didn't come in with much fanfare last year.
Right.
Kind of an afterthought.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But Hoover is a proven college quarterback. He had a great career at TCU. On paper, they could actually be getting a better quarterback in Hoover than they did in Fernando Mendoza.
Yep.
Fair.
You guys are bullish on Indiana.
What was the star level of a lot of his players? I mean, he hasn't had a whole lot of 5-star guys. So if he can win the national championship with 3s and 4s,
not even
what are we talking about here?
Have a perfect season. They weren't beat it all last
Well,
year.
those are going to be a lot of freshmen. Look, he relied on well-seasoned, more
transfers,
transfers. Who've been in the game a little bit more mature, who are men. You get the 4 and 5 stars; they still have to mature. It's a different season of football. Hoover had 29 touchdowns last year to 13 interceptions at TCU. I think they probably tighten him up, and they do quite well. Then he had 3,400 yards, almost 3,500 yards throwing last year. So. They got a great quarterback to come in and take over that system. And look, Cignetti's the system guy, right? And they don't take a down off. They don't take a series off. They roll you.
Also a Pittsburgh guy. You're welcome, John.
Exactly right.
Same old story, different day. Okay.
It's called championship.
Listen, I think they're sixth. I think they're legitimately sixth. Their over-under's 10-5. I made a couple over bets. Ohio State and Michigan State. That's two of them already went over that. I bet Indiana under. I don't think they're going to go 11 and win. I think they lose 2 games. And the thing is, I'm going to bet more money when they're 5-0. So I've kind of held some of that back because they're going to win the first 5 games, right? And that line is probably going to move, or I'm going to get better odds. So I'm going to wait till they're 5-0. But then I'm banking on them losing 2 Big Ten games. I think they end up going 10-2. It's tough. It's tough to go 11-1. You almost have to figure they're going to go undefeated. But we'll see what happens. Like the guy like he says, he just wins, and he wins with whomever. So we'll see.
Well, we'll see how he handles being the hunter
and John,
the hunter.
I think
10-2 record
is realistic. I think that's realistic.
10-2 record is going to get him in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's where it comes down to.
I win my bet.
Back to back. This is back to back games. Ohio State at Indiana. They turn around and go to Michigan the next week. That's the season. That's the 10-2 bet right there.
Yep. Agreed.
That week. So if they are rolling it up and they are covering the spreads in the early part of the season, this first 6 games, those 2 games will determine whether they're going to be a national championship or not.
Okay, let me throw this one out there. This is I just got to throw it out because I got their shirt on. I'm on the Turtle train, 5.5. Mike Loxley, 8 years. 71 of our players are returning. Now, we got some injuries, but everybody's got injuries. 71% of our players returning. He's got to win this year. He got one more year. He's got to prove himself. And the Terps got off to a good start last season and then collapsed. And we're getting blown out by everybody, a bunch of injuries. I love their quarterback. He's going to be a sophomore. He's a triple threat, 5.5. I like the over here. Let's just go around the horn. Maryland Terrapins 5.5. Vince?
Yeah, I see Maryland going 6-6 or 7-5, and they're going to the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana, with that record.
Let's go, Statler.
I think they get 6 wins. I'll take the over.
Way to go, Saxman.
Looking at the schedule, they beat Hampton. Okay. They go to UConn, probably win there. Virginia Tech, probably a loss. With 5-7, I don't think they do it. He gets fired. And even if they go 6-6, he's fired. They got to have a winning season. He gets fired.
Saxman not on the Turtle train. Hobgood.
They're in the Big Ten, and they're Maryland.
Sorry to disappoint you there, JF. I don't think they get there. I think I'm taking.
All right, Saxman's hosting a week from Monday for the input.
I've been bumped.
By the way, I'm not waiting for you at the airport in Charlotte Monday.
That's right.
I'm stranded at the airport. Have to make your own way. I think
I'm gonna have to try to get a ride from Kenny Pickett to South Carolina from the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Dan, you're on the payroll too. You should know better. Come on, of course they're going to win 6 games.
I changed my mind. I changed my vote. I'm like Darling.
Look, there's
matter of fact, the Terps are going to win the national title.
I don't really know much about Maryland football, really.
Nobody does.
They're going to beat the Buckeyes. Silly man.
Okay, Rich Rodriguez.
Maryland needs to schedule South Dakota State, so it's the Jackrabbits versus the Turtle. That would be
brilliant. That's brilliant. It should be rabbits and turtles.
Right there.
We're on the turtles.
Tortoise and hare. That'd be great.
We're on the turtle train, baby. Let's go.
I like
Okay.
turtles.
No, seriously, that over under bet will come down to the Virginia Tech game at Maryland.
Exactly.
Game-
Exactly.
that's
And we
game
got
3.
we already
Yeah,
got our
whatever.
tickets for that game. We're ready to go. I think we're going to beat Penn State. That's my big upset. Going to Maryland at home, Penn State smoke and mirrors, white out, this that. They're in a rebuild.
No pun intended, of course.
Yeah, I knew somebody was going to say it.
Dear God, you went there.
Oh
Jesus,
my God.
Jesus, man.
Alexa, play Eric Clapton.
Oh boy.
Do something. Hey, before we get off of college football, okay, so Rich Rodriguez, we got him on our show Tuesday at 1:00 live nationally. So on Wednesday's practice, I mean, you got to love this guy. I don't care what West Virginia does. This guy is like, to get him on live, the stuff he says is hilarious. So after Wednesday's practice, Rodriguez said that his team was soft. He just calls him out. This is why everybody loves this guy. He said, the team is soft. The practice was soft. I didn't like it. He said, I got a lot of patty caking going on with these young guys. Patty caking going on. And his freshman quarterback, Jiran Ugly, he said, is not there yet. I mean, the thing is, he gets off of practice. He does a press conference and blasts half the team's practice. I mean, the guy is hilarious.
Here's the thing, John. That would have worked. That worked 20 years ago. Does that work in 2026 with today's student athletes? I don't know. I mean, you're kind of skating a real thin line there, right? I mean, you could alienate some of your dudes and it's like, okay, Rich Rod, we're playing for you 1 year and we're hitting the portal next year. I think that's something you got to be very careful with. Obviously, Rich Rod's an experienced Division I head football coach, but 2026 is much different than 2000.
Yeah, it's a great point. How do student athletes, athletes in this era respond to? I mean, look, it works well for Signetti if the expectations are clearly understood and consistently applied. And a lot of these coaches might not be that well received. Go back to Belichick and Petrino with the new generation of athletes going, I'm getting paid to do this. I can go somewhere else. I don't put up this nonsense. And they do that a lot in a lot of different teams, a lot of different sports. It's their choice. That's the rub, right?
Bobby Knight went from working to not working so well. So,
yeah.
I don't know how effective it is, but I love his post game or post practice press conferences. I mean, because he would do this every game. He would say exactly what every Mountaineer fan was feeling about the team that day. If they went out and they sucked that game, that was the mood for the press conference. And I think it's refreshing to a lot of people in West Virginia that it's not coach speak. If the team sucks, he's going to tell you the team sucks and they're soft and they got to work on this. And he tries to instill that hard edge. So I get what Coach and Saxman are saying. I mean, yeah, especially in the transfer portal era. I mean, yeah, you could rub players the wrong way where they leave, but as a fan anyway, I like that he comes out and says if the team is soft and they're not performing. So, I mean, it is a double-edged sword in a way. But
Coach, what do you think of your team's execution?
I mean, it was every game last year. He would say that somebody was soft.
Look, you can do that as Coach Brighton knows this obviously better than all of us. You can do that if you're making good decisions and you're treating people fairly and equitably. Not necessarily similarly, because people are different. Everyone has a different motivation. But as long as you're making good decisions and the team can't go, well, what about what you did? That's where the thing pivots and can turn on you as an organization.
That's true.
That can be problematic. Like, why'd you do this? If your fourth down conversion, like you went for 4th and 5 on your own 40 and it doesn't go well, the people are going to turn on you, right? You got to make good decisions too. And that has to be clearly understood. And he also has to take accountability. And when a leader take accountability, like I made a mistake and tell the team that also helps build trust in the program.
And that's one thing that Coach Rodriguez did do a lot of last year. He always held the coaches accountable, including himself. He would always say it starts with coaching.
Yeah.
So and I think a lot of the team respects him for that.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does. 5.5 over under wins West Virginia Mountaineers coach Vince.
Yeah, I got to go the over. I think that's a good bet, actually. I really like the Mountaineers.
Statler.
Over, no doubt.
Saxman.
Here comes the Virginia people.
Well, I think it comes down to the Virginia game in Charlotte. When they go to Charlotte to play UVA, that's a really important game of that over-under bet. Because, look, Virginia has the oldest team in the NCAA this year. That is an experienced, seasoned football team, not to be taken lightly. And I think they're very underrated when it comes to the rankings, just based on age and seasoning of the team and having Tony Elliott's system really clicking in the last year or so. So I think it's going to come down to that UVA game. It's a toss-up for me on that one, but I think West Virginia stands a really good chance of covering that with 5.5. No question.
You know, it's interesting you say that. I'll get to Dan. I bet the other futures bet I made like 6 of them. But now I got to manage it. The other futures bet I made was UVA winning the ACC.
Really?
Wow.
I said that based on the fact that they played really good football at the end of the season last year, and they have experienced players. They have aged players. You know, it's almost like when you go to BYU and you're playing a lineman that's 27 years old, married with 5 children. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. So I think they're going to be tough. I think they're the sleeper team. I got great odds. Hobgood.
I'll go over for West Virginia, but to piggyback about what you just said regarding Virginia, kudos to Wally Walker, both of my dad's former teammates, Wally Walker and Barry Parkhill, for managing the front office, if you will, for Virginia extraordinarily well. For all of the fanfare that there was about Carolina with Belichick and the NFL system that he was going to be bringing in top to bottom in that athletics department, Virginia has done what North Carolina said it was going to do and has so far failed to do. Mm-hmm. They have an absolutely second to none NIL transfer front office for what money they have. They're not, I mean, Ohio State is far and away out there with the money they have coming in, they have to work with. But for what Virginia has in the pipeline, they are doing an outstanding job.
And they're priming that pump. And I've spoken to the guys on the collective and the NIL for the last several years, and actually went to a presentation with about, I think, 10, 15 people in the room with Coach Elliott and the AD Walker there, Carla Williams. And I think they've got a top-notch organization, and they have the alumni money to support it, but the alumni aren't going to do it until they see some traction. And now that they are, there's going to be an avalanche of money coming into that program.
Yep.
They're a good bet. Okay, 5.5.
And they have a new facility, which apparently is just unbelievable.
They will put the facilities up. They will put the facilities up. And the key for UVA is getting the Virginia in-state athletes. That has always been the bugaboo. They've had lost so many to Penn State, to South Carolina over the years, to North Carolina over the years.
To Tech.
If they can turn that around and make UVA Tech a competitive football game, this state will do some amazing things when it comes to.
I think they beat Tech. I think they beat Tech. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of their coach, but that's for another day. West Virginia 5.5. I like the over. Quick word from my sponsors. When I get back, AFC North blew itself up. Keep it right here.
What?
MyPillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium MyPillows that adjust your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
I guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable pillows you'll ever own. King size only $24.98, queen size only $19.98. Giza Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, as low as $29.98. Lux Pierce 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually dry you. What a concept. Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. Plus free shipping options available when you order today. So don't delay, order now.
Pennsylvania's big casinos want it all. Your money, your games, your choice. They rake in millions, then lobby Harrisburg to shut down the small businesses that dare to compete. Bars, VFWs, local spots, crushed so the casino giants can get even richer. They want to rig the system against you, but Pesomatic is fighting back. Skill games, fair play, real competition. No monopolies, no backroom deals. Just your right to play and win. Call Harrisburg now. Stand with small business. Stand with Pesomatic. Pesomatic, leveling the playing field. Paid for by Pesomatic.
Wagering at its finest, playing at the highest levels, under the highest stakes for more than a decade. This is the world past the wire has conquered, bringing you uncompromised thoroughbred authority and elite track data that anchors the game. But the modern wagering landscape is expanding. Every sport, every line, every prop, and every high leverage future, we decode the metrics across the entire board. From game day spreads to the explosive new frontier of prediction markets and event contracts, we give you intelligence to dominate the modern financial exchanges. Because in the end, it's a battle. You versus the house. You versus the other players. In this arena, we fight with you. We are your ultimate edge. Welcome to the Ultimate Wagering Network. Subscribe to Past the Wire TV and turn on notifications, because when the dust settles,
Nobody does it better. Saturday morning, 6 on the radio, 11 on JFMN.TV. Right now, download the new WV Sports Nation app from the Apple Store or Google Play and get the entire Mountaineer sports world in the palm of your hand. Right now, get notified when new stories drop about your favorite Mountaineers teams and athletes. Download the WV Sports Nation app right now. Get updates on next level Mountaineers like Weatherholt and Joe Mazzulla. All that and more right in your pocket right now. Download the new WV Sports Nation app from the Apple Store or Google Play. Download the app right now. Godzilla Wins, where you get the best insight and best information on how to win the most money ever.
Guess what? GodzillaWins.com. Let's talk more winners.
Back to the show.
All right. Great to have you back on Godzilla Wins. We got old ball coach Vince Mayako, Brenda Statler, and our indelible one, Chris Saxman, Dan Hopgood, too. Dan Hopgood hosting my show a week from Monday, so that's going to be good, Dan. I'm looking forward to that. Good to have you guys with us today. We're going to go to the AFC North first, though. Don't forget, starting next week, the second hour of Godzilla Wins Fantasy Football. Don't want to miss that. If you play fantasy football, you got a fantasy football team, we're going to give you the insight and the information you're going to need to be successful. They're going to be the hottest thing out there. So fantasy football starting next week on Godzilla Wins. Do not want to miss that. And don't forget, right after our show, Past the Wire horse racing with John Stetton. Now, I don't know if you bet horse racing or not. I do. Last week, he was on fire. Gave out 5 horses, 3 winners. Can't really beat that. He had a fantastic day. We'll see what he does today. And don't forget Game on America Sports every weekday, 6 to 7 p.m., Monday to Friday across our network. Guys, let's get the AFC North. Well, everything is blown up there. Let's start with all the new coaches. Mike Tomlin out in Pittsburgh. Mike McCarthy in. Jesse Minter is a new Ravens coach. Harbaugh fired. He's gone with the Giants. We've got new coach Todd Monken is in with Cleveland. Stefanski's out. He's with, who is he with? The Falcons.
Yep.
So we've got all kinds of turnover. Only stability we got is the Bengals, who I think are going to be very, very tough in that division. Let's start with Pittsburgh. McCarthy has stripped out a lot of you guys from the Tomlin era. He wants a new culture. I don't know why. I thought Tomlin had a great culture, but he stripped it out, and he wants more offense. He wants to throw the ball more with Rodgers, etc. I bet him over 8.5. But look, 42 years old. What's going to happen here, Saxman, with the Steelers and this new era with McCarthy?
Well, I think you're in a new era. We've only had 3 eras in my lifetime: Noel, Power, and Mike Tomlin. They've all
Loved
won.
Cowher.
They loved him, and they all won Super Bowls. And you bring in a Pittsburgh native like Mike McCarthy, who has his own record of achievement in the NFL, and he strips it down to his own way of coaching and transform the entire organization in not a short period of time. And not a long period of time, rather. And this is the transition that a lot of fans have wanted over the years. It's far more offensive oriented. You see that in their draft, and it's going to be a whole new team. The big question marks, obviously, especially with 42-year-old last season Aaron Rodgers. I think a lot of people were excited. I was, for some strange reason, screaming at the TV last night, and in the third period, third quarter, going, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm going, "Why am I caring this much?" I'm texting my Steelers friends, "Why do I care this much?" Because we do. It's just what we do in the fall, and I don't think expectations are high, but certainly hopes are high.
What was your take on their performance last night? I know it's preseason football. I don't pay any attention to it, but I know you Pittsburghers do. You watch the game. I take it Statler or Hobgood. Somebody jump in. Did you even care who won that game? Why does it matter?
God, yes, we care about every win.
Good, Dan.
Yeah, although we weren't really focused so much on the final score for a preseason game as how did the quarterbacks look. Will Howard made a couple of pretty bad decisions. Other than that, I mean, he wasn't, his play wasn't that bad, but he made a couple of really bad decisions on the Jets side of the field in the red zone, and that's not good. I thought that Aller looked okay. I really did. I thought the offensive line play and receivers who were third and fourth down the depth chart didn't really do him much good, or didn't do him any favors. But he had one throw last night that was, oh my gosh.
There was both of them had.
He threw it on his back foot. That was all arm.
It was unreal, and it's like, man,
moving
if
to
this
his
guy's
left.
playing with,
Yeah.
it was just, I mean, it was unreal.
He couldn't have walked up to him and placed the ball better.
It was unreal, JF, and I watched that and I said, I want to see this guy with as much of the starters as we're going to get the last week, next week, starting the game. I mean, this is how he looks. Right after he's gone through McCarthy's touted quarterback school, apparently in OTAs and otherwise off-season workouts, he didn't look good at all. He's made a lot of progress already. I think another year sitting behind one of the 5 best quarterbacks ever to play, trying to learn as much as possible through osmosis from him. I think Drew Aller could be the guy. I really do.
Yeah, we'll see. Look, first of all, the game last night, Geno Smith had a great first drive. That was
unbelievable.
That was a pro playing the game. They had a pre-scripted first drive. He executed perfectly, and they scored a touchdown. That was a well constructed first drive for the New York Jets. And I don't want to take anything away from anyone who watched the game about Geno Smith. But you're in the second game. They pretty much know who the active roster is going to be, and they were given the last looks to some folks they were cutting down last night. I don't think Caleb Johnson makes the team. He just doesn't have it. And there's a couple of times where he should have broken out and gone for a 10, 15-yard gain and got caught. He just doesn't have that explosive at the line kind of speed that we need.
Let's go to the Ravens.
And Dowdell looked good. Rico Dowdell looked really good.
Let's go to the Ravens. New coach Jesse Minter comes from San Diego, right? I mean, Lamar Jackson, is he going to stay healthy? They had to move on from the Harbaugh era. Know what's interesting? The Ravens have only had 4 coaches in their entire history, Minter being the 4th. So Minter, I guess, in their entire history since coming from Cleveland, I guess, they've only had 3 coaches. This is number 4. It's kind of amazing. A lot of stability there in that organization, but they got a whole new platform now. Expectations high, but Lamar Jackson, is he going to stay healthy? Is Derrick Henry going to stay healthy? Are they really that good? Let's go to Vince.
I just don't see the Ravens having success this year. I really don't. I like Pittsburgh a lot. I do, like you mentioned earlier, John. I like the Bengals as well too.
Yeah,
me too.
I really do. I think they obviously have stability at the head coach. They have probably one of the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks, if healthy, in the NFL. And of course, a couple weeks ago, I feel like I'm invested in the Pittsburgh Steelers by going to Primanti Brothers and asking for the Pittsburgher sandwich. Yeah. And so I feel like I'm
no surprise.
Part of the icy light to go with it. Did you get icy light?
I
Iron
did
City.
not because I was
Iron
driving, so I
City.
went with the next best thing, an Arnold Palmer in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
There you go.
Has to work, right? So,
From
but in
Latrobe,
all
which is where St.
seriousness,
Vincent's is.
yeah, I
Just like Mr.
I
Rogers.
just don't see the Ravens having, the seasons that they've had in the past. I think, I understand that Harbaugh ran his course with Baltimore, but I think the Giants made a great signing in John Harbaugh as their HC.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a much tougher. I said this. I did a video on him sometime last week, and his training camp has been very tough, and he's got some injuries. He was getting criticized for that. And look, Harbaugh did the same thing with the Ravens, and he's basically said, "Look, we're going to have a tough team when you leave the Meadowlands and get on that plane out of Newark International Airport, win or lose. If you don't feel that you played the New York Giants and you're looking forward to that hot tub, then I failed." I thought that was just he's trying to instill, a different mentality in the Giants, kind of like old school Giants back in the day. So we'll see what happens there. But I kind of agree with the Ravens. I just don't see it as, the breakout team. Let's get to Cleveland. Who's going to be their quarterback, Watson or Sanders, Vince?
God, who cares?
Well, I think you almost have
People
to
in
go with
Cleveland don't even care.
Jesus.
I think you almost you got the money invested in Watson. You have to give it to him, right? Just from a financial situation. They lose their best defender, obviously, in Myles Garrett being traded or free agency or however he ends up in with the Rams. So they lose a huge part of their defense there. Just same old Browns, right?
3 wins. 4 wins.
If
Matt.
that. If
How about
that.
so you're giving them 3 wins? That's
I
generous.
thought the over-under was 0.5.
Under.
That's right.
They're not. Look, they got a good defense. They're going to play some. They're going to play some teams hard.
Is that defense going to be that effective without Myles Garrett? Though they're certainly going to miss a disruptor like that.
Although, look, no question. But what I like about what they finally did is, if you're going to do a rebuild, do a rebuild. I hate half-ass rebuilds. I mean, because you don't get either, right? Do a rebuild. They're doing a rebuild. They got a bunch of kids in the draft. See what happens. So you got to take it on the chin. But if you're a Cleveland fan, it's like they're in a perpetual rebuild because they never win.
Well, it's a team in need of a quarterback, as we're talking about. I think this is surely Deshaun Watson's last year. Yeah, but next year's draft is a draft that is supposed to have a fair amount of QB stock in it, and I think why not get rid of Myles Garrett and try to help your odds of getting to make your pick of the litter. Get your pick of the litter next year.
So you think it's a tank season? Do they tank this year intentionally?
No. I don't think anyone in the NFL does or should tank. But there's a realism that's built in. Look, they had a great draft, and I hated saying this after the draft. I was like, that's a pretty good draft, and I'm not real excited about it. But they open up at Jags, at Tampa Bay, Carolina at home, Steelers at home, and then they go to the Jets. They don't have a lot of opportunity early in the season to gain momentum and get that team clicking. They have a very tough schedule. 4 wins is certainly out of. I don't think is happening.
The problem is if you're a bottom feeder in that division, I mean, there's no easy games. I mean, it's
they're finishing last in the division.
I mean, you're finishing last, so you got 6 games. If you win one of them. If you look at 2 Pittsburgh, 2 Baltimore, 2 Cincinnati, if they win one game, it's a good season. Now you're 1-5. You go from there. It's just a very difficult thing. And I would bet.
And Tomlin's gone now, so they can't even count on beating Pittsburgh at home anymore. So
I know, right?
my prediction for Cleveland this year, they finish with the 2nd pick in the draft. The only team that is going to be worse than the Browns is the Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals are horrible.
Yep.
Well, Cardinals are going for the first pick, no doubt.
Yes.
All right, guys, we got to move on. Bengals. I predict they're gonna win the division. I think they might be the team to beat in the AFC. Somebody tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're not wrong. I mean, the issue for them is always injuries, but and apparently they've gotten their defense better. Did everybody hear what Joe Burrow said this week though? Did everybody hear that
No, what
soundbite
he
from
said.
him?
He's tired of
Bas-
losing.
Yeah, basically said I don't mean to say like this. It's got to be this year, but sort of said like it's got to be this year. Sort of shooting the shot across the bow, like saying if we don't win this year, I'm looking to go elsewhere next year.
But everything with the Bengals this year hinges on the health of Joe Burrow, because this is the problem that the Bengals have had over the last 5-6 years, whatever it's been. They either have no offense or they have no defense. Last year, their offense was able to score 30, 40 points a game, which is great, but they had absolutely no defense whatsoever. They had to score like 60 points to win a game. So now that they finally have a defense, is Joe Burrow going to stay healthy? Because in the Joe Burrow era, every time the Bengals have had a good offense, Burrow's health has not been good. So it all depends on if Joe Burrow is healthy this year, where the Bengals go.
That's it.
All right, we'll see what happens.
And if he's healthy, you shouldn't bet against him. I mean, he beats everybody when he's healthy. He does.
They can go. They can win 13 games, right, in a 17-game season. Look at their schedule. If they're clicking. Plus, their field goal kicker never misses a big-time game-winning field goal ever. So they got that going for him. He's a guy's a beast. So they got a lot of pieces in place. If their defense gets better, they have that consistency at head coach. I think they win that division and got a hell of a shot to get to the Super Bowl. But look, Pittsburgh is going to beat them at home, right? So I have no doubt about that. The Steelers are going to beat them at home. Then they gotta win the 2 Ravens games. They'll beat the Browns both times, but that is just to me, that's the toughest division to be in. Certainly a lot of hype on the West, smoke and mirrors, softer teams. And of course, my division is a clown show. All right. Why don't we get to, this is not on the schedule, just in, okay? The lingering Kettle Marte story.
What's going on there?
Okay. Plays for the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are fighting for a playoff spot. Guy's not showing up at the team, right? Not there. Says he's hurt. Last night, they got a game at home at Chase Field. The team is fighting to get in the playoffs, right? And they got some talent. Doesn't show up, doesn't go in the dugout, doesn't support his players. Somebody has a video of the guy at the casino 2 miles away playing at the roulette table. You're in the middle of a playoff run. Here's the thing, Coach.
Not too good.
This is the team. This is the kind of thing that destroys teams. I hope the Diamondbacks, and I happen to know the owner because that's Kendrick that funded the baseball stadium in the Kendrick family in Morgantown. They ought to cut this guy. Just cut him.
Yeah.
Just make a bold move. Somebody make a bold move. And say, you know what? You don't want to be with your team. You want to go play the roulette table, and we're in the middle of a playoff run. You don't even want to sit there and support your teammates. You know what? I don't care who picks you up. Wave his ass. Get him out. I think in the end, I don't care how good he is, better off. Coach?
Oh, yeah. You do that. It's like getting better with subtraction, right?
Yeah, addition by
And I
subtraction.
think it would bring obviously the clubhouse closer knit as well too. Yeah, get rid of him. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't care. I don't care if you're a multimillionaire like he is or a rookie. I mean, you have to be there for your team if you're legitimately hurt, right? Regardless, you need to be there, and especially they're right in the middle of things, John, as you mentioned. I mean, right now, I think they're scheduled to be the 3rd wild card team, I believe. Right now, they're in that mix with the Padres. Bad look, and the Diamondbacks could really, move forward, just release him, give him his outright release, and move on.
Yeah.
And then their manager says, well, I don't really keep tabs on him. I don't care what he does. Wrong answer. Have the balls to step up and say, hey, if you're going to play on my team and you're hurt, you're going to show your other players respect. And I don't care if you're last place team and you're not win any games. I don't care how many games you won. Right? They're in the middle of a playoff hunt. They're playing better baseball now. They've had a tough season, a lot of injuries, and you're out playing at a casino. when your team's 2 miles away battling for a playoff spot, I would cut this guy's ass so fast. At some point, an owner has got to make a decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have a culture or not.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if they keep this guy, their culture is, well, we're paying him this much money. He's got these many homers. He can help us down the stretch.
Nope.
But what good is that when you don't have a culture? And I think the Diamondbacks should stand up, cut this guy's ass today, send them packing, and go ahead and the Dodgers will pick him up. He'll fit right in.
You don't need just the distraction aspect of this when you're going into a playoff run either. It makes no sense to keep him.
It might be better just to send him down to the minors and say that's where he is on our roster, so no one else can take him.
I'd cut him. I wouldn't even give him the honor of playing for my minor league organization. At some point, you just got to make a decision about the culture and the future of your team and what you stand for and what you represent. You've got to make it. And the Diamondbacks aren't going to make it. They'll just sit there, do nothing, and he'll come back and hit a homer, and they'll all high five him.
Look, we've all seen guys. We've all had guys on our programs or our teams growing up, even from Little League, who thought they were all that, and it never helps the team, even when they're on the squad. So to your point, John, I agree with you. Get rid of them, toss them.
All right. Should they toss him? Go around the horn. Final word, and we got to get out. Vince.
Yeah, DFA him.
Statler.
Gone.
Saxman.
Should have already.
Hobgood.
In the word of Wendy Bell, jag off. Let's go. Get him out of here.
Total jag. Total
on
jag.
That, we'll end on jag off. Get him out. Guys, thanks for being on Godzilla Wins. This is John Fredericks Media Network. We will see you 6 a.m. on Monday. Pass the Wire Racing up next. Keep it right here.